What ingredient ruins a sandwich for you? Warm wet lettuce on hot sandwiches. Such a disgusting texture. A few years ago, the sub shop in the grocery store near me started doing cheeseburger subs. Usually the quality of the sandwiches was very good to outstanding. There's an open secret that they partnered with an old-time Italian deli in our city to get recipes when they first started doing subs. So anyway, I figure I'd give the cheeseburger a shot since they were advertising it. The sub guy opens the bread, grabs 2 burger patties from what I thought was a warming tray, goes down the line for my toppings. I did lettuce, tomato, a little mayo, onion, pickles. He puts the whole sandwich together, wraps it in the paper, cuts it, then before I can realize what's happening, puts the whole goddamn sandwich in the microwave and heats it up because the patties are stored cooked and chilled. I hope they got their shit together. I wouldn't know because that was the last cheeseburger sub I ever ordered from them. Mealy tomatoes. Thanks for putting words to the sensation. Mealy. That fucking word, one of those where you can feel the texture on your tongue as you're saying it. Well done, you nasty little word. There's a type of state machine you learn about in digital logic called a Mealy machine, named after George Mealy, and that class caused me so much discomfort because of that word. A piece of lettuce that's a little too brown. Or the lettuce piece that's a bit slimy. Sends me right to Gagsville. Or a piece of lettuce that has the hard tasteless core part in it. No, he's right. I want my lettuce leafy. I don't want to be chowing down on those giant stems. Soggy, not fresh tomato. Looking at you, Subway. I used to think I hated tomato. Turns out I just hate shitty tomato. Same, as a kid I hated them, as an adult I realized I could buy tomatoes that were not just red grainy water. I just started growing different varieties, and I had no idea tomatoes had flavor. Some of them are actually very sweet like the true berry they are. Garden tomatoes have ruined me. I'll eat them right off the vine. Then winter hits and I just stop using tomatoes for a few months, because I've been spoiled. Nothing like a warm, homegrown tomato fresh off the vine. Slice it up, sprinkle a little salt and pepper over the slices, and you have perfection. Long ago girlfriend's mom would lightly toast white bread, a super thin layer of mayo, garden fresh tomato with salt and pepper, and say it was like eating sunshine. Ah, the good old day. There is no point in eating an unripe tomato. Zero flavor, bad texture. And yet people insist on putting them on sandwiches in January in places where there's snow on the ground. Foolishness. Huge pieces of meat that when I bite, instead of cutting and eating a piece, I eat the whole thing and the rest of the sandwich is left meatless. But not before said meat slips out and slaps you on the chin, leaving an unnaturally large mayo, mustard mark, making you appear that you have no idea how to consume a sandwich. You must have had a NYC deli sandwich where they put a huge glob of meat in the center of the bread so it looks generous when cut. I'll never forget the look I got when I complained, "That doesn't look like a $16 sandwich at a NYC deli." This was in 2004. $16 sandwich? What? In '04. What's that now? $50, that's so expensive. But then I'm basing that on the price of fast food sandwiches, so. A piece of roast beef with a vein of gristle running through it, so when you take a bite and don't bite through, you drag the whole piece out of the sandwich in one go. Razor-thin shaved meat is where it's at for a good sandwich. More surface area means more flavor and better mouthfeel. I've cut slices so thin I couldn't even see them. Boil. I thought we banned you from using the words mouthfeel. But, yes, I fundamentally agree with you, and am constantly annoyed at deli counters that don't understand what I mean when I say super thin slices. Yes, I always have to ask them to slice it on zero, or as close as possible, and they look at me like I'm crazy, while Susan over there is getting her kids bologna sliced on 10 like a ghoul, and they don't even bat an eye. Soft, cheap bread that gets soggy with the slightest bit of moisture. This is the one thing that will make me reject a sandwich with revulsion. A food critic explained it well to me. The bread is the part that you have the most interaction with, so it has to be good. Don't mind soggy bread, but I cannot stand hard bread that scrapes your gums, and is more brittle than a cracker. One of my friends insists on bringing the hardest baguette he can find every time we go hiking, and I can never stand it. I like crusty bread, but I swear the things some people eat feel like a cheese grater on my palate. These are the questions I want to see on askReddit. Seriously. Females of Reddit, what's the femalest female you've femaled? Now. These are the real deal. The gendered questions are out of control. I feel like there's enough data there to close the book. It's been that way for many years. You'd think, eventually, the mods would have banned shitty divisive questions like that. But, alas. Earwax. I want to see more, guys, screw it, what's the best chair, kind of questions. Screw you, I was going to post that. If the condiments is not spread right to the edges, and in the corners of the bread. If there are big globs of unspread mayo, it's an immediate no from me. Oh, you don't like when McDonald's gives you a chicken sandwich that looks like it just got done receiving and servicing an entire football team? Standing with both feet in the lettuce bins with shoes on. Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing you want in your Burger King burger is someone else's foot fungus, but it turns out that might be just what you eat. Soggy bread. I'd rather starve. Putting a big beef tomato slice on to just watch your sandwich turn soggy and collapse. One night my daughter prayed before bed, "Please God, don't let the cookies be hairy or gross." I've never made hairy cookies in my life, goofy kid, but hair will definitely ruin a sandwich, or any food for that matter. Old people always trying to sneak raisins into everything, but I've never heard of it in a sandwich. Sounds fucking awful. Chicken salad. They love sneaking M into chicken salad. I think it might be a World War II thing, so all is forgiven, but like. They couldn't eat them for breakfast instead? I like raisins just as much as every 10th person, but on a sandwich? Whoever you know that puts raisins on a sandwich is not normal. If they're making sandwiches out of raisin toast, that's arguably worse. It's labeled, marketed, and sold as raisin toast, not raisin sandwich bread. Humanity never ceases to amaze me. Unless making a grilled cheese, I can't handle the crappy white bread that mushes to the roof of your mouth, nasty, and can't hold anything together. Grilled cheese is the exception. BC the toast ones hold everything together and eliminated the mush. I pre-toast my garbage bread, then spread a condiment on it. It makes the whole sandwich a lot better than untoasted white bread. Lack of sauce. Dry sandwiches are the worst. Yeah. You see, my sister makes these amazing turkey sandwiches. Her secret is, she puts an extra slice of gravy-soaked bread in the middle. I call it the moist maker. Very thick tomatoes. Homegrown tomatoes are so good, so much flavor, I can eat them like an apple, lol. Grocery store ones just taste like water, tap water, lol. We grow a ton of tomatoes every year, and feast on them for the 2 months they're ripe. And then we don't use tomatoes on sandwiches for the other 10 months of the year. They're just pointless without that homegrown flavor. We do make tomato sauce and can it, but it's a precious commodity that we keep for special occasions. Sweet pickles. Dill or nothing. On a side note, YTF is sweet relish always the only option for hot dogs and brats? Dill pickles is standard for burgers, why isn't dill relish standard for dogs and brats? Grillo's Pickles just released a product called Pickle de Gallo. It is a dill pickle-based salsa, but it is the dill pickle relish of my dreams. It was in the deli section of my grocery store and makes every sandwich amazing. My mom always put those bread and butter pickles on sandwiches. I thought I hated sandwiches until I discovered regular dill pickles. Clausen pickles, baby. Celery. Only heathens add celery to sandwiches. So yeah, about that. Tuna, finely diced celery and onion, preferably red but any type will do, mixed with chopped parsley, and just enough mayo to hold it together is one of my favorite sandwich fillings. I don't know anyone on the planet who puts celery on a sandwich. Lots of us eat it on the side though. Have people in this thread never had tuna, chicken salad? This is like the bare minimum to not having it be gray paste on bread. Thanks for watching this video. Hit the bell next to subscribe so you never miss a video. Like, comment and subscribe if you are new on the channel.